stuff, so maybe my thing will run faster.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mastery in Sales Tuesdays class, or little tidbits and what do we call this? Intentions, basically. We're going to be touching on how to follow versus lead, or lead versus follow, depending on your outlook on it. Even Tracy and I were talking about this the other day. The following versus leading. What did you call that? The zeros to heroes?
From sales zero to sales hero, yeah.
So going from the sales zero to the sales hero, we're going to cover what it takes to lead versus follow, or follow versus lead, how to recognize that, how to get out of your head and basically jump in there and take that lead. One thing we do want to definitely cover right now is Tracy, you were talking about it. You had a syndrome, or a label you kind of put on this, which was kind of funny. So what was that?
Yeah, the going label is the imposter syndrome. So there's a big pain point with basically anybody, but especially salespeople showing up. There's this pain point about not showing up as yourself, but showing up as what you think should be there, or what you think they want to see, or they think they want you to be, and not showing up fully as yourself, for yourself. So I think the pain point, since you were in the sales industry for so long, where did you see this show up from your standpoint as a salesperson? Because I know what it is from the coaching standpoint, but as a salesperson, how does that show up in your industry?
And technically, if you want to be clear, once in sales, I feel like you're always in sales. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you're always in sales. Everybody's in sales, whether they want to be or not. They're there.
Whether you want to be or not. But as from the sales side of it, it's a vicious cycle, because if you're not selling, there's the issue. When you're not selling, you kind of start to shrink back. I remember there's been times where I'd call my wife and joking like, "Oh, today," and she's like, "Are you having fun?" And then next thing I know, it'd be click. I'd be like, okay, I guess she just hung up on me. I guess I'm supposed to have fun. But it's just that quick recognition of like, what is really going on? So, not very often that happened, but if it did happen, it was just a quick checklist. But yeah, there is that, almost imposter syndrome, or hypocritical, syndrome of being like, look, I'm supposed to be the guru, or I'm the sales guy here, or I'm the number one. But I'm not converting, and it does start to wear on you over time, and it happens, right? It could happen, and if you let it happen enough, you get beat down, and then, like you said, you get that imposter syndrome. As a coaching side, when someone comes to us, what do you think that imposter syndrome shows up? How long before it really shows up in the conversation?
It's pretty immediate. That people want certain things so badly. And a lot of times you approach those things from specific identities. I'll be this in order to get this in return, instead of just showing up as you are and serving and allowing things to flow in a very natural, intuitive way. You show up, you think you need to be, once again, the guru thing or whatever. You show up, know it all, and it filters into everything, but then you end up kind of imploding on yourself because you're not being true to who you are.
Yeah. I think that's one thing.
And so then it just really filters in.
Yeah, it's one thing you and I really touch on and work with a lot of people on. We don't try to change anybody. We don't try to change their approach. So it's their unique personality. So it's still real. So when they are selling, or they get into the position where they're selling, there's no imposter. We're not taking away their unique traits, or way they talk, or especially the way they dress or act. We just want to build that up to basically be unique, be real, be authentic and genuine. We were talking about it a moment ago. There's certain buzzwords we hate. I hate the word organic. Like, how organic is that? Like, there's no organicness. It's just being you. Be you. Be comfortable in you. The one thing that kind of goes on the imposter syndrome or the hypocritical side is I tend to run into coaches who will be like, look, they're amazing trainers, they're coaches, they're whatever they are in their field, they're expert in their field, but yet they don't have a trainer. They don't feel like they need a trainer, but yet they're selling somebody into their system. And when their potential client puts up a roadblock of, look, this is where I'm coming from, I don't need a client, I don't need a trainer. I can see that growing into like, look, that's an imposter syndrome right there, or almost hypocritical feeling because they don't have a trainer. So what stops them from pushing past that? What do you feel like? What do you feel like the next step for that person who is a client or a trainer or a coach to bring that client on board if they don't have a mentor or trainer or coach themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. You've always got to walk your walk. And if you are promoting being something, you need to be being it yourself first, right? So yeah,
Exactly.
if you're not being that, it's definitely that imposter syndrome, and it will sabotage your honeymoon.
Absolutely. So under the mindset and or powerlessness, let's talk about that a minute, because that will lead into that powerlessness. That coach right there will look at that on the spot and kind of go, look, you need this training and you need this course, or you need this workshop, but yet they don't have a trainer, mentor on their side. Do you think that leaves them more powerless, or going into the next section of how we work, the mindset, the powerlessness, where does that leave you? What does that bring up?
So what happens with that is anytime we aren't being true to ourselves, we will experience the sensation of being out of control. And the one thing that every single person, I don't care what they say out here, wants, they want to be in control. They want to know. And so it brings up this whole sense of powerlessness in that the control isn't there. So then they end up approaching the call out of desperation, fear, scarcity. They stop listening and they start selling, coming over, like really walking that line of, are you actually serving? Or are you just truly bombarding the person and trying to get the sale? Because now you're coming from a different space. And that powerlessness, basically what it means, it's a willingness to outsource your own joy, happiness, whatever, to something outside of you or some other person. And so when they get in that boat, they have an attachment to the outcome, and they're outsourcing how they feel based on how that call is going to turn out. And it leaves them in a very vulnerable, powerlessness place, and a space that the client can feel on the other side and be like, whoa, this is getting heavy. Wow. And then it starts feeling like they're just trying to sell me. They're not really here to help me. And now this doesn't feel good.
It's almost coming from a place of desperation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then, like, going back to the pain point, what a lot of people start doing is they start going to blame, right? So what do you see with people when they get in that powerlessness issue? Where do they start going mentally?
It's always your fault. Always your fault. They're the ones. It's nothing I've done. They try to justify it. And look, again, you talk about a vicious cycle. It goes from blame to justifications, which turns into instantly, as much as they want to point out there, and if they don't want to take responsibility for it, what ends up happening is the finger points back at them. Their lack of self-confidence, life strategy or business strategy or sales strategy, it doesn't matter. There's that lack of something, and they know what it is, but yet they're feeling so desperate and out of control that they can't handle what they really want to do, and that's command their presence. So that justification of powerlessness really comes in. And in the long run, that false sense of control and insecurity or security that they think they have because they've done one sale or two sales, but then they come up against block after block, it starts to wreak havoc. I mean, I was writing something earlier and I was talking about, it's like, it's rotten to the core. I mean, anything that you can see on the outside of the blemish on an apple or something, there's a little hole. Have you ever cut an apple open and just the inside is completely rotten? Well, that's what they're thinking, their mentality is. At that point, once they really dive in deep, that insecurity just comes out. And that's why that desperation shows up. So
Yeah.
when you see someone like that, what is to you, because I have my number one telltale sign when I see somebody, because I like to observe someone in sales when I'm coaching them.
Right.
What is the number one thing that stands out about a salesperson to you, which shows up, whether whether you can see them or not? What is the number one thing that shows up in that
Well, it's
moment of
usually
insecurity?
it's usually very quick. I mean, it's all about asking the right questions, and you can tell if that person is truly listening to hear what's on your heart, or if they're waiting for you to finish because they have their next point. It's very, very clear. It's right there. And you can feel like if you're also not like way up in your head about this thing and you're looking for this help or whatever, you can feel the energy of that person, whether you're looking at them or not. You can feel it intuitively. Your heart knows, and your body is going to also let you know. Like, you can actually feel that shift in the person, and it's very heavy. It's uncomfortable, and not in the sense of uncomfortable as in, wow, I'm moving forward and this is that uncomfortable, exciting. Okay, no, it's the uncomfortable as in yuck. It's just yuck.
Yeah.
I think everybody has had that experience. But what we want to do is move away from that and bring it forward. And because sales truly is a beautiful thing, right? Like, it's beautiful. Help and breakthroughs and all of these amazing things come on the other side of sales. So we want to go on ahead and continue shifting that out of the old paradigm to a new awareness and serving on the call and truly listening.
And even if it's not on a call, like face to face, or even in front of a group of people. I mean, I don't know if that is going to ever happen again, a big gathering. But let's say you are in front of
Yes, it's going to happen.
Oh yeah. So to me, it always comes up to body language, like desperation. People smell desperation like dogs smell fear. So to me, my telltale sign is I can just pick up on the body language immediately and just kind of go, okay, that person is not comfortable in their own skin. And that's why I go right back to what I love about training salespeople is I love to use their own unique flavor of who they are. I mean, that never gets boring to me. And I love sales to begin with, and I love to help people. But I mean, just the body language, just once you get comfortable internally, the external just is just calm. There's no jumping around, no eye contact, no. It's just it's almost, and it sounds corny, but it's a beautiful thing to watch develop or even change. And sometimes it can change just by making one tweak, and that person's like, oh, okay. So the mechanics of it, we talk about the beliefs, the thoughts, the actions, the results, reinforce those. What is one thing you do every day to do that? What is one thing you do as not only a coach, a trainer, a salesperson? What is it you do?
So I have a large, I shouldn't say large, but I have a very specific strategy that helps me stay in the moment every day. And the first thing is just knowing that cycle inside and out. Like, it's very important for people to understand what's going on. And it's a very simple process. So if you look at it, the first thing you have, it's a cycle there. You have your thoughts. Thoughts lead to a belief. The belief then leads to actions. You take actions off of what beliefs are. That's going to give you a result. And that result is going to reinforce the thought. So there's only two options here. You either go through that cycle of powerlessness, where it starts with a negative or a less than ideal thought, negative beliefs, negative actions, negative results, reinforcing more powerlessness, or you come at it from the empowered side and you constantly are practicing throughout your mind, your body, your heart, empowered thoughts, empowered beliefs, then having inspired actions then you'll start getting your inspired results, and then that's going to reinforce that cycle over and over again. And so one of the things I do, and do you want to share this with them at this point, our very simple technique that our own trainers taught us? Do you want to go into that?
Yeah, let's do that really quick. Go for it. I'll let you do that, and then I'll follow it up with where we're at.
Okay, can you post the link for it? Can you grab
absolutely.
that? And so one of the things, so Josh and I too both have coaches and trainers, okay? And one of the best techniques that we both learned, it's called present moment awareness. And this is something that our trainers have shared with us. And this literally helps you calm down and get out of your mind basically instantly, bring you back into the moment very powerfully. And so he's going to share this link with you, and it's going to take you to a YouTube clip, and it will actually take you through present moment awareness. Now, if anybody wants to dig deeper into that, just direct message Josh and I so we can, Josh or I, so we can move you into the right direction. But that is something both of us do every single day to help us stay in that moment in ourselves, the moment with other people, the moment inside whatever we're doing, staying right there and focused. And this is not about being positive and whitewashing stuff at all. That is not what we're talking about here at all. Why don't you talk a little bit about command, Josh, the difference between like control and command?
So kind of going back and to follow up with what you're saying, staying aware, staying present is key. Building that foundation off of several different things. And I've done that for years. I've done something before I even started training in with my trainer and your trainer. So one thing I've done is always having that foundation, and it's about commanding your attention, creating your ideal. Now, commanding your attention, you can also say, I'm setting my intention. This is my intention. This is what's going to happen. This is where I'm going to go. This is where I'm going to end up. This is who I'm going to help. And this is how I'm going to help them. That's my intention for today. In sales, it's never about, I'm going to sell $1 million today. I'm going to sell 30 people today. It's commanding my intention. My attention is my intention. Giving that person the full 100% of me. That's all it boils down to for me in sales. And calming yourself, centering yourself, whatever you want to call it. I mean, we were talking about this a moment ago before we even got on here. There's people out there who swear up and down they're the most centered people. And no offense to them, they usually wear yoga pants. So these people who swear they're the most centered,
I wear yoga pants.
they're the most like centered, like even keel people in the world. It's just their attention. That's only thing that gets out of whack. They struggle with commanding that attention and getting them where they need to go, and creating that strategy, because that strategy right there then leads into your beliefs, your habits, everything else. And I shared on a part of the men's summit I was on last week. The men's summit, one of the things I believed in truly before I even started training full time was a foundation, and that was my daily routine. I created that habit, so if anything ever came up, I could instantly go back to my routine. It was my foundation. If someone yelled at me, screamed at me, cursed at me, I could even take a quick walk and be like, all right, I had my foundation for the day. I had my routine for the day. Now I just have to just start building the house over. That house starts with the first board, which is your attention. Giving that person attention and commanding that fully is what helps. It also helps you communicate, listen, and basically listen. And when we're talking about today, following versus leading, right? So when we're giving someone our 100% attention, that means if we're listening, we can ask questions. And that's how you lead. For me, it's always been about how I lead a conversation. I want to get to know that person. Back in the day, it's called qualifying needs and wants. For me, it's not even qualifying them, because if they're talking to me, they need help. Period. They're qualified. Now it's just asking them questions to see how I can actually help them. What is your unique way of leading a conversation rather than following or being a tag along?
Yeah, it's always asking the questions, asking, right and wrong, I don't want to get there, but truly it is asking the right questions for that moment. You may have a script or have something over here, but if you're really listening, you're going to know exactly what to do. And the great thing is, when people say they don't know, you truly know. It's just that attention is not being commanded. It's over here. Command your attention, get back to it, and you will know exactly which questions to ask, and you will be listening. So it is truly like leading that call is asking those questions, and the right ones, not just whatever the script is or whatever, but truly listening to the person and leading from what they're giving you.
Absolutely. Be it to see it, right?
Yeah.
You got to be that person to see that person. You got to lead them from example, which reminds me, not even reminds me, it just came up as you were talking about the next video. The next live video I think we'll do is on intuition. Because I really feel like that's a good place to go for everybody involved in sales is recognizing intuition, understanding how to listen to it, and basically following your intuition. Basically, that's, more of an attention thing, right? Your outward attention, your inward attention. So one thing we're doing with Mastery in Sales right now, you guys, I just want to sum this up really quick. First thing, if you want immediate massive growth, jump into our Mastery in Sales private group. It's on there as well on Facebook. I'll share the link below, the SD link. Jump in there, introduce yourself, answer the questions. We're there to help. We're there to listen. We're always posting stuff in there as well. Second thing is, if you guys need some immediate help, just direct message me on Facebook. That's the fastest way to get a hold of me. You can go to my schedule once link. I'll put that up as well. But the best thing is just to get on there, DM me really quick. Myself or Tracy. Tracy's part of the Mastery in Sales team. Get in there, DM us, ask a question. We're there to help. The best thing you do is just get a quick call. Jump on a call with me, and we'll get everything straightened out. Also, as of right now, I'm only accepting 5 new clients into the 3-month workshop we got going. It's basically a one-on-one leveling up your sales game. Because right now, we were talking about this a moment ago too, Tracy. Right now is a great time to be in sales. Everything for sales, especially online coaching and housing, and everything's kind of popping off. We have multiple friends who, not mutual friends even, but people that are individuals that are making massive gains in sales. And it's right now amidst whatever you want to call this bullshit we're living in. So basically, you want to level up your coaching game. You want to level up your entrepreneurialism. You want to get in there, business owners, private salespeople, consistently selling without selling. And that's what we're going to teach you how to do. It's also going to talk about the pressures of selling, eliminating the chatters and the scenarios that are running in your head, taking up your space and time and energy. Basically, we're going to cut those out immediately. All right. Gaining the clarity on your objective, understanding how to set goals with alignment with your offer, and commanding the presence during the critical times will help you chase your passion. And that's what I love about Mastery in Sales. Sales has always been my passion from a young age. So, Tracy, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add before we hop off here, but.
Just that. So from now on, are we going to do these inside the Facebook group?
Yep. From now on, we're going to do them inside the live Facebook group, or the private Facebook group as well.
Yeah. So if you're wanting to grab more of these trainings, we did this one live on here today, but if you want to grab more of these trainings, we're going to be doing them every Tuesday, along with some other pop-up trainings and things inside the Facebook group. So we'll put that link up here. That's where you want to go for these trainings from here on out. Just if you have any questions or comments, put them up here, DM Josh, and we look forward to seeing you guys inside the group. And if there's somebody else that you would like to share the info with, by all means, share away. And we'll see you inside.
All right, folks, have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Talk to you later, Tracy.
All righty. Bye.
Bye.
All right.